I'm on a call. That's fine. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Tammy Lee with Makeshift Happen. If you just saw that, one of my grandkids are here, like a lot of them are here. And what a great topic for today, to stay with flow and ease. Like, it is so vital that we choose to be there or to stay there or to get back there when we have been taken out. Again, I'm Tammy Lee with the spiritual variety show, Makeshift Happen, where we discuss different things of different dimensions, different thought forms, just different things to bring forth to start to realize all the different levels of how to see you. So while we're waiting for other people to get online, why don't you go ahead and type in the text chat. Thank you, Jennifer, so much, because I was just about to ask if you can all hear me and if you can see me okay, because on my side, hi Diana, on my side, my camera is glitching. So I'm wanting to make sure that you guys can all hear me, that you can see me, that yes, stay high frequency. That's right, Jennifer. Well, thank you, Jan. I apologize for coming on late today. It was, and I'm thinking as I'm coming on late, I'm thinking, you know what? This is the perfect subject to the importance of flow and ease. So if you want to, go ahead and invite your friends over to hear this, because right now, I totally believe that, wow, that's imperative right now with what's going on in the world and around us and in our community and with our own homes, to stay with flow and ease. So are you guys all able to see me okay? Just making sure. And yeah, my camera just, or I look at myself online and it just like doing that, like glitch. And like the video is bouncing. Okay, that's a good way to say. So, okay, I'm just gonna go over and check on to see outside of this if I can see me on a different format, just to make sure this is all going through. Because right here in our Ignore Your Joyful Heart, this is one of the things I really wanted to start bringing forth every week is, you know, this live show for you all. Okay, so I'm looking and it seems fine there. Oh no, it did glitch. Okay, well, I guess we'll just keep going. How's that? So at the very beginning, you saw one of my grandsons come in the door, and of all things, he's asking, "Can I use this cup?" And I even say, "Hey, I'm on a call." That's usually what I say, like, "I'm on live," or "I'm on a call," and it didn't matter. It didn't matter. He just like still wants to know, can he use this certain shaker cup? So, you know, to stay in that flow and that ease of being within ourselves, of being, of moving through life on a daily on a daily path in our daily work, in our daily regimen. Well, let me share a little bit more about myself as we go on, and because you just saw me pause and taking a deep breath, And that's one of the ways I stay in the flow and the ease, because right now I want to stay in the flow and the ease of being here with you, with all of you, being present with you, being present within myself. And at times that calls for just taking a moment, taking that breath. So do it with me right now. And take that breath into your heart. And as we do that, we start to set us together. It's not just Tammy. You are this too. We start to set this space, this container of this gathering that we're coming here to do right now. We're sitting that space for that container to be in this high frequency and still stay in the flow and the ease, even when the unexpected, no matter how minute or how large it is, comes to us. Like my grandson opening the door. And right before I got on here, and this is part of the reason why I was late, was they were jackhammering. I had no idea. I thought the house was falling apart. They were jackhammering cement right out this outside of this room, right where I'm at. And I'm like, oh, I'm going live. What the heck? And I started to allow myself go into my mind. So here we go again. I'm on live. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't matter. And I think you gotta pick and choose your boundaries that you really want to enforce. And so that there. And I bet he doesn't know it. I don't know if you could see him. Is my husband just came in to say he was leaving. So it's like, but they know when the door's shut. Don't open it. Because I'm either with a client or I'm on a call or, now I said, I'm on live. And I'm leaving. So the door's shut, man. You guys know this. It's like, okay, now, if I wasn't into my flow and ease right now, that could have totally have taken me out. And sometimes it does. Sometimes it has in the past. So one of the ways I get back to that is this ability to take those breaths, to take those deep breaths and sink into the heart to where we can see through our heart space, live through our heart space, to live through our heart space. Years and years and years ago, when I've done this most of my life. However, I was ridiculed for it and was being told I was wrong, being told I was too fluffy, too Fruit Loopy, no, you gotta be in your mind and think about things and you gotta do it this way and do it that way. But when we breathe and we go into our heart space, there's a flow and an ease that is just natural. That's natural with us, for us, and wants to be with us. I just right in your face. But it really, truly wants to be with us. Wow, this is glitchy. I can just see that. So how many of you, what do you think about what we're talking about so far? Just give me some hearts or likes, or please type in the text chat. I want to hear your thoughts, I want this to be an interactive time together. And what do we do when we choose, when we catch ourselves? When we catch ourselves out of being in the flow and ease. I mean, to me, that is connection with our spirit. Like right now, with our essence, it goes beyond like our essence. That essence of who we are. So, right now, as you breathe into your heart space, allow that part of you, like, not only connect to it, but to shine. Like, start to see the sunshine or this purity of light to start glowing. Like if you can, and if you can see it there, just put your attention there. And whether or not you can see it or feel it, don't worry about that. Just put your attention there. And if you're in your mind right now to say, okay, I have this space. Okay, I'm in my heart. Because this is how I started. I'm a multidimensional, intuitive facilitator of transformational and healing experiences. Some of you that are listening right now, you've had different one-on-one sessions with me, or you've been in group sessions, group trainings. And speaking of that, there's a 5-day free training that's coming up actually next Monday, right here in the group. And I'm even working on bonuses to bring bonuses so we can extend the 5 days into maybe 8 or 9 days. Because right now, that kind of community, a high frequency community. I mean, Jennifer's right. Staying in that high frequency and being a part of a high frequency community, to me, not only is it exceptional, but it's required in order for us to be in our truth, to have those comrades of the same kind of mindset, the same kind of growth patterns, the same kind of, whether they're doing something different, that's not but there's always that invitation to go further, to go beyond of where you're at, and go more and go more and go more. That's the kind of people we should want to be surrounded with, be in communion with. And that is what we're growing. That is what we're growing. And we've even created an even more elite Facebook group called the Emerald Compass. And the people that join in on the 5-day program are going into the Emerald Compass, because that's even more people that are dedicated to that, to themselves, to their growth, especially right now into the future. Because listen, ladies, this is like really, really, truly, we got to teach our children. We become this and more, and we keep working on ourselves so we can teach the children and be open for the children to teach us. So the importance of staying in the flow and the ease of life, and the importance, like really, really important, like when we get off of it, how do we catch ourselves? How do some of you, okay, so let me ask you, how many of you feel like you're in flow and ease? Or maybe you call it something else. What do you call that? What do you call that? Let me go over to see if people are, because sometimes I can't always see. You're too high frequency for your 3D camera. That's funny. Oh, 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 Jan, that's beautiful. Jan says, I had a beautiful sign from our Wendy, that's her daughter that's passed over, who has transitioned this morning. If I had not been centered, I would have missed it. Grieving right now is a stretch to stay in ease. So grieving right now, it's a stretch to stay in ease. So Jan, maybe, okay, so I'm just asking the grief. If we ask the grief to walk along with us, because grief can show us things. The grieving process, like the allowance of who we are, the allowance of our emotions, the allowance of allowing ourselves to get angry. Like, it's okay to be freaking pissed, hurt, feeling like it's not fair. I mean, we're still human, right? In those grief moments. I cannot even imagine, as a mother, what it would be like to lose a child. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Jan, even in your grieving. We welcome you. We welcome you. We welcome you. Because right now, women, there are more than us that are present here. And if you just take a deep breath, you can feel them. Or even if you can't feel them, allow that thought to open up. Open up new possibilities. Allow that thought to open the channels of new possibilities. So when I said I'm multidimensional, I work with a lot of different spiritual beings, like really high divine beings that are also in my entourage. Sometimes I call them my joy team because they really, really help. And one of the things, that's why I even wore this today. This was made by a Native American woman, because one of the things is this has a bear claw on it. And when I first saw it, at first I'm like, oh, that's for a guy. And then the more I looked at it, the more it spoke to me. And I knew I was supposed to have it with me. And today I saw it, and I haven't worn it for months, but it spoke to me today for that mama bear to be with us, for the bear family, the bear collective, the strength, but still, like, their strength and their power of them, but still the cuddly softness. Because how many times do we just want to cuddle up with the bear? Cuddle with a bear. I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but that was part of that's Mama Bear. So flow and ease can look different for us. Flow and ease can look different for each and every one of us. And when we allow our emotion to come forth, because here's the most important thing, ladies. It is time to allow the emotional body to release, to quit stuffing down on, to quit suppressing, because the more we do that, the more that energy leads or flows flows to our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, nieces, nephews, however you are. If you're not like, it flows into our lineage. So we require, and this is one of the ways we can stay in flow and ease. And the more we can do that, the more messages we continue to get, the more guidance beyond who we are in this physical self we also can tap into. How many of you okay, Jan just said, I heard someone say we want to feel, but mostly we need to feel well. Okay, here's something that I truly believe this, that when we allow the emotions to come forth, crying, tears, cleanse the soul, cleanse our body, cleanses the spaces that are stuck within us, cleanses those different aspects of us. Tears are very, very, what's the right word? Hmm. I can catapult our healing process. And I mean tears from the gut, tears from the womb. It's one of the areas I work on with women. And that's a lot of work I've been doing in this last year, because there is so much stuck in our womb, women, that it screams out for us to hear it. Yes, in other words, feel our feelings better. And not only feel them better, Jan, allow them to speak. Like even our anger, like, let's just face it, ladies. And you know what? I never thought I had anger in me. I had a lady tell me probably 15 years ago, because I'm just happy-go-lucky, and I'm always happy and always wanted to make everybody else happy, and realized later I was putting on a mask and hiding my true, angst or anger, and I never ever thought about it till this one woman. She was on a stage and she says, when I'm done here, come up to me and I can tell you exactly what kind of emotion you have hiding within you. I'm like, oh, she's going to find joy. And some of you that know me and have known me for years, of course she'll find joy. She found anger. When she told me I have so much anger inside of me, I'm like, what the flip? Okay, there's more choice words I said than that. Like, well, who's this lady to tell me I have all this anger inside of me? Not only anger from myself, but anger that had come down from generation to generation to generation, because nobody ever dealt with it. So we carry that on until that one person in our lineage says yes to enough's enough. It's time to heal this. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's a must. It is a must. So the more we clear out that space, the more of us and the more our soul, our fragmented soul pieces can come back home. Can come back home. So just take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath on that. So how do we know when we get out of flow and ease? The other night I was making soup. Okay, just a minute. You got a tickle all of a sudden. Wow, goodness. So sometimes I now I'm asking that tickle. Is there something actually under the tickle that wants to share? And I hear the word permission. So whoever needs permission, you have it. If you need permission to truly be in your full self, in your... Hi, Carol. So glad you were able to join us after all. I just had water go up my nose from that water bottle. Okay. Okay. So that tickle, now it's gone. But what did it want to say? It wanted to say permission. Make sure these women have permission. Make sure they know you have full permission to allow your emotions, to bring them forth. And okay, sometimes it's scary. I know that. And I could not always do that on my own. There were times when I did have to ask for help. So Diana types in, thank you so much. I love when you guys are interactive with me, because not only does that help to expand and to solidify and this container, but it helps all of this, what you bring forth, to transmute as we're here together. And even if you're listening to the replay, because I'll tell you what, we have so many helpers with us right now. I mean, the grandmothers, the sacred grandmothers, they're here. They're here. They're here. They want you to know that. They really, really want you to know that. They are here with you, with us, especially right now in this moment. So Diana says, when my only sibling died at age 51, I could not cry. My friend Elizabeth has a song on YouTube, If I Could Phone Home. That must be the song, If I Could Phone Home. That song I listened to many times, and it helped me to cry and release tears. I felt so much better, and I still go listen to it from time to time. That's beautiful, Diana. So when we are not able, okay, so hang on. Okay, so when we don't feel like we're in flow and ease, when we feel like we're out of connection, that was a perfect example of Diana, I would say, was using this song to help her to get back into that flow. I'm not always saying it's ease, okay? But there's a layer of that. If we really look at it, there's a layer of ease that comes along with it. Don't always feel it, right? But when she went and listened to the song, and the flow could be something else. The flow could be a flow of emotions. So the other night when I'm cooking and I'm making soup, I like before I started to even stir it, like what is going on? Like I knew I wasn't my normal joyful self. And I'm starting to ask myself like what's going on, because I'm about to make a meal that my family is going to eat. They're going to come and eat upon this food that I have prepared. Am I in the right flow and ease to create this? That's one of the ways I check myself. Am I in the flow and ease? Do I feel joyful? Do I feel a happiness? Do I feel a spark? However you want to say that for yourself. And I realized I didn't. So in that moment, when I realized I wasn't there in the flow and the ease and the connection to my essence and having that sun shine through me, I took a moment. This was about a week ago, and I took a moment and I just allowed myself to breathe into my heart. To just keep breathing into that heart space and keep breathing into that heart space and keep breathing into that heart space. And like, well, what is going on? And eventually I got back to that flow and ease. I got back to that giggling. Like I know that's when I'm in, is when I can giggle like that at nothing. Like giggling when my grandson, instead of getting pissed off, when he comes in and asks about the cup. Like, so that's how I know that I'm in the flow and ease of my essence. Yeah, of my essence. Essence? Essence. I'm just, okay, so I'm wondering, like, I think Jennifer might have had something like the frequency right now is so strong that as we're talking, as we're sharing, that's could be totally Jennifer, the glitches that we're seeing on my as I'm that's very interesting. Okay, so what do we do? What do we do when we cannot get back into the flow and ease by ourselves? What do you do? One, and has that happened to you recently? Because it just did for me. And what does being out of flow and ease tell us where we're at in our life? That's another question. So these questions are something that if you want to, go ahead and write them down. So that way, if it helps you to guide yourself of where you're at, of where like to look, where to dive in deeper to heal, to become aware, to focus on, possibly. Today's Wednesday, Monday night. I was working on this 5-day pre-event for next week, the Sacred Soul Soiree. Yes, I said it right. I still get soiree. I think that's French. Oh, say that fast 3 times. See how your tongue gets tied up. So how do we catch ourselves? How do we catch ourselves? And what do we do in the moment? And what if our simple tools don't work? Monday night, I started like around 9 o'clock. I just like, and what does this tell us about where we're at in our life? And I just like all the air, it felt like it just went out of me. I was working on this 5-day event, and all the air felt like it went out of me. And I got a headache. Like all the energy went out of me. And it's like, okay, the lady I was talking to at the moment, like, wow, I have got to go to bed. I feel like I'm going to pass out right here. Just all of a sudden, it felt like that. And I wake up yesterday and I'm still like out of whack, like something. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but I still reach out for help. And even like Jan, I totally agree. Like Jan calls her spiritual guidance council. That's a really cool title. And okay, so Jan says, my spiritual guidance council is light beings, and I ask them for light. So that's one of the things Jan does. Even if, like, for breathing in, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jan, I get this, like, she does similarly what I do. She stops and breathes into her heart center. But if for some reason she can't get there on her own, she reaches out that way to her spiritual guidance council, which is full of light beings, and she asks them for light. I was doing the same thing yesterday, reaching out to my entourage. Yet, for some reason, I couldn't feel. Like I felt like I could feel my body, but almost not my body. I could feel like like it felt like blah. Like I could just lay on the couch and stare out the window. But instead of making myself wrong about that, which how many women, hello ladies, how many of us do that? We make ourselves wrong. We make ourselves wrong for feeling out of sync. We make ourselves wrong for feeling out of sync. Like I should, like, and then we start to beat ourselves up. Most women have done that or do that, no matter how far expanded or empowered or whatever word you want to use. Sometimes there's still a little tiny bit of default to go back there. And that is when I reach out for help to another healer. And I have a very select few that I'm very particular who I work with. And so I tell you what, and so I had a session with this woman that helped me, that helped to find some different things that I didn't see. But one of the most important things, like, how did this tell me where I was out of sync with me? Is I wasn't taking care of myself on a daily basis. And that's one of the things we're going to be discussing. And we're going to create a plan of action in the 5-day event, the Sacred Soul Soiree. Because this is, especially now, especially right now, with the higher frequency of this new earth, of this new energy that's coming, that is here, it is imperative, women, that we take care of ourselves. So last night, even so, after I got off, she's like, Tammy, you just need to really rest. And I know this. I tell my clients that all the time. But I lose that sometimes with me because I want to create and help the world. I want to, okay, how else can I do it? And how else can I help? And how else? And how else? And how else? And sometimes I get tunnel vision. My mom can attest to that one. And then I forget about myself. And I get depleted. And I have allowed myself to get depleted. I thought about taking a bath, with Epsom salt and and high grade essential oils like a few days before that, but I didn't do it. Yesterday, I made sure I did. I made sure I did. And I didn't go back on the computer to do anything, even though I had a list of things to do. Yes, it's right, Jan. It is okay to take a nap, ladies. You know how many years? You know how many years? Like decades. I would not allow myself to take a nap because I thought that made me look lazy. Enough of this. It's got to be hard work. There is a more flow and ease to things. Like it doesn't have to be so hard that it makes us exhausted, that it depletes us. It also says the word permission is right on. We can give ourselves permission to stop and rest and retreat and reset. Spiritual work is sometimes hard and can be exhausting. And that is so true because I've been working so much on myself in order to be able to give more to others, spiritually, healing, emotionally, mentally, all those different aspects of me on multi-dimensional levels, that my body needed to catch up. Because when we do this work, when we do high frequency energy work, high frequency healing and clearings, our physical self still needs to catch up. And it's vital that we take care of ourselves, especially when we're doing that kind of work. And again, that's what we'll be going over and creating a plan in the 5-day event, Sacred Soul Soiree, where and bringing in sacred play. Like sacred play needs to be a part of our lives, and to start to implement it, even if it's 5 minutes a day, to help our spirit thrive, to help our essence to come through us even more. I'm also creating an 8-month program to where the women that want to keep going, and keep going, to be in a really tight, not tight, like, but a really in a high frequency container with other women that are doing the work. I'm so excited to be bringing that forth. And we'll talk more about that too. during the Sacred Soul soiree. Because right now is the time, ladies. It's time. It's time to step up to even those next levels. To even those next levels. So is there any questions, any thoughts, anything that anybody else wants to say, to share? Whether it's now or whether it's on when you do the replay, just hashtag replay, and then I'll know you're listening to the replay. And if you have any comments, questions, statements you want to share, go ahead and do that. Doesn't matter if you're listening live or if you're listening to the replay, because this energy, this energy is going out to each and every one of you. This sacred high frequency energy. If you need help, I'm here. I just want to also remind everybody that, thank you, Jan. I love you too, darling. Remind you that Carol Iverson is one of my teammates, and she's been reaching out to a lot of you here in Ignite Your Joyful Heart to help to make sure that you get the link for our Sacred Soul soiree 5-day event next week, starting on Monday night. Oh my gosh, can't believe it's already that. And so if you see a message from Carol, and if not, if you don't see one from me or Carol, direct message us or post it here in the Facebook group. Who wants the link for that for that 5-day event? So yeah. Life is juicy. And I hope you can start to feel that. If you don't, or if you want to. I just saw an orange. All of a sudden, life is juicy, like this great orange. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate all the interactive, and we're going to, all the comments, all this expanding of this container. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Until next Wednesday, we bring back to you again the Spiritual Variety Show, Makeshift Happen. This is Tammy Lee. And I want to, before I sign off, I want to, like, if you have anything you want me to talk about or to share about, just put them in our Facebook group and or direct message me, and we'll make time for those. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. Cheers.